The two sons trying to get some justice of their own.
Diddy's son lashes out in court after his new lawsuit in a shocking turn of events. The legal drama surrounding the music mogul's family has taken an intense twist as tensions rise in the courtroom. Furious and visibly upset, Diddy's son voiced his frustrations over a lawsuit that has now turned his world upside down, with emotions running high and the courtroom buzzing. This latest legal battle is quickly becoming one of the most talked about cases in celebrity circles. What triggered this heated outburst, and what could this mean for the future of Diddy's family? Let's dive into the details that have everyone talking.
Owned by Diddy were raided in LA and Miami as part of a federal human trafficking investigation.
Yes, you heard that right. This legal bombshell could even land the heir to Diddy's empire behind bars. So how did it all spiral out of control so quickly for the prince of the Combs dynasty? Let's break it down.
Christian Combs, Diddy's son, accused of assaulting a woman in looming lawsuit. Now, if you don't know, the lawsuit against Christian Combs has yet to be officially filed, but is currently in the works. According to attorney Tyrone Blackburn, the identity of Combs' alleged has yet to be revealed, and details surrounding the reported lawsuit are limited. So it looked like Christian Combs stunting like his daddy. They trying to take down the whole family.
TNN has just confirmed that Christian is the son of hip-hop mogul Diddy. Christian CMS, Diddy's youngest son, has just been hit with some heavy legal papers, and here's the kicker. They were served right at Diddy's legendary Miami mansion. You know, the one. The iconic mansion that's practically a myth in the hip-hop world, hosting everything from star-studded parties to some of Diddy's more questionable moments. Right there in the middle of all that glamour and history, things just took a very dark turn. But hold up, wait a minute, because this story gets even crazier. These legal papers weren't just dropped off with some random person. They were delivered straight to Christian himself, right at Diddy's infamous mansion. Of all places it had to be. There now, the Combs family is facing yet another wave of legal drama, and this isn't just any random lawsuit. This one could seriously shake up their empire. To make matters even worse, the timing couldn't be more inconvenient, just as the Combs family finds themselves under the glaring spotlight of public scrutiny. With one scandal after another, Christian's name gets dragged into the mix. Talk about bad timing. You really have to wonder how much more this mansion, already a magnet for drama, can take before it crumbles under the weight of it all. Seriously, maybe it's time to pack up and move, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, because things are about to take a disturbing turn, and trust me, this is where the story gets real dark. According to Grace, Christian Combs wasn't just some innocent bystander in this situation. From the moment they met, it's alleged he took an unsettling, inappropriate interest in her, and it only went downhill from there. In the lawsuit, Grace claims that during a recording session, Christian pressured her into drinking tequila with him. But wait, it gets even worse, because according to her, that wasn't just tequila in her drink. She alleges it was spiked. And let's be real, given Diddy's controversial past, we can't help but see some unsettling parallels here. It's a story we've all heard before, and if history tells us anything, we know exactly where this might lead. Buckle up. This is far. Clips 4. That's just the beginning of what Grace claims went down. According to her, things took an even darker, more twisted turn. She alleges that Christian became aggressive, physically grabbing her arm to prevent her from leaving. Just take a moment to Imagine that being stuck, unable to escape, and feeling completely trapped by someone wielding immense power and influence. It's absolutely terrifying, and unfortunately it gets worse. Grace claims that later that same day the situation spiraled completely out of control. This is where the story takes an even darker and more disturbing twist. She alleges that Christian cornered her in a private room, stripped off his clothes, and tried to force her into non-consensual acts. Grace says she fought back, refusing to give in, but the nightmare didn't end until another staff member happened to walk in. That chance intervene gave her the opportunity to break free. Let's just pause here for a second, because what in the world? This is beyond chilling. It's a horrifying account that leaves you questioning everything.
This is far from over.
Embattled music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been accused of assault. A lawsuit filed in LA Superior Court on Thursday accuses Christian King Combs of assaulting and possibly beating a woman in December 2022. The woman says it happened while she was working on a yacht that Diddy had chartered. This comes just over a week after homes owned by Diddy were raided in LA and Miami as part of a federal human trafficking investigation. Neither the attorneys for Combs or Diddy have commented on the new legal complaint.
That's desperate for help and some kind of support, even tried talking to the yacht captain the next morning, hoping for someone to at least listen, but instead of empathy or action, she was met with a dismissive, cold response. The captain brushed it off, suggesting that she was probably partying voluntarily. Excuse me. That kind of response is the very definition of tone deaf and makes you question the moral compass of anyone who could dismiss such a serious accusation so casually. But if you thought that was the worst of it, think again, because the fallout from what Grace allegedly experienced doesn't just end with that horrifying night. No, it gets even more heart-wrenching. Grace claims she was essentially forced to keep serving, unable to escape the situation, as though her trauma didn't matter and she was just expected to carry on as if nothing happened. This isn't just disturbing, it's utterly devastating. Christian, even after everything that allegedly happened, continued to have Grace serve him like nothing ever went down. Talk about a toxic work environment, right? It's like this man supposedly crossed every line imaginable, and yet she was forced to carry on as if it were just another day. Can you even imagine the mental toll of such a situation? But sadly, it doesn't stop there. To make matters worse, Grace's personal life began to crumble under the weight of everything she had endured. The emotional trauma from the incident spiraled into a complete breakdown. She lost her job, her mental health took a nosedive, and as if that wasn't devastating enough, her long-term relationship fell apart too. Her partner couldn't handle the emotional strain of what she was going through, and they eventually split. It's an unimaginable cascade of heartbreak and loss that leaves you questioning how one person could endure so much. Clip 6. Honest, it's hard to even fathom what it must have been like for Grace, losing both her career and a long-term relationship, all while carrying the weight of such unimaginable trauma. It is nothing short of heartbreaking. The emotional scars of what she endured, coupled with the collapse of her personal and professional life, paint a picture of devastation that's difficult to put into words. It's a level of pain and resilience most of us can't even begin to comprehend, but sadly, it doesn't end there. According to Grace's lawyer, she has been battling deep depression ever since that fateful night, and the weight of it all has forced her to seek therapy just to begin processing what happened. And if you think that's bad, it gets even more gut-wrenching. Grace missed out on celebrating her own sister's wedding, an event she had been eagerly planning for 18 months. A day that should have been filled with joy and love became something she couldn't even bear to attend because the emotional toll was simply too overwhelming. It's heartbreaking to think of all the moments stolen from her by This trauma,
Like father, like son, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said before,
Christian King Combs isn't letting his dad, Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking court hearing get in the way of him partying with his girlfriend, Raven Tree.
But why? It all gets even messier. Not only is Christian allegedly tied to some deeply disturbing actions, but he's also reportedly linked to the infamous freak-off parties that have haunted his father Diddy for years.